A chance of showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, south winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 30 knots, diminishing to around 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 5 to 7 feet, occasionally to 9 feet, subsiding to 4 to 5 feet in the afternoon. Wave detail, south 6 feet at 7 seconds, becoming south 5 feet at 7 seconds. A chance of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Thursday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Wave detail, south 5 feet at 7 seconds. Friday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Friday night, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Saturday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Saturday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. The coastal waters forecast for the following: waters from High Island to Freeport, Texas, extending from 20 to 60 nautical miles. Tropical storm watch in effect. This afternoon, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Wave detail, south 4 feet at 7 seconds. A chance of thunderstorms. A chance of showers. Tonight, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, increasing to around 30 knots after midnight. Seas 4 to 6 feet, occasionally to 8 feet, building to 6 to 9 feet, occasionally to 11 feet after midnight. Wave detail, southeast 6 feet at 7 seconds, becoming southeast 8 feet at 7 seconds. A chance of thunderstorms. Showers likely in the evening, then showers after midnight. Wednesday, south winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming southwest around 30 knots in the afternoon. Seas 7 to 10 feet, occasionally to 13 feet. Wave detail, southeast 8 feet at 7 seconds. A chance of thunderstorms. Showers, mainly in the morning. Wednesday night, south winds 20 to 25 knots. Gusts up to 40 knots in the evening. Seas 6 to 9 feet, occasionally to 11 feet, subsiding to 6 to 7 feet, occasionally to 9 feet after midnight. Wave detail, south 7 feet at 8 seconds, becoming south 7 feet at 7 seconds. A chance of showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, south winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet, occasionally to 9 feet. Wave detail, south 6 feet at 7 seconds. A chance of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Thursday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet, occasionally to 8 feet. Wave detail, south 6 feet at 7 seconds. Friday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet, occasionally to 8 feet. Friday night, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 5 to 6 feet, occasionally to 8 feet. Saturday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Saturday night, southeast winds around 15 knots, becoming south 15 to 20 knots after midnight. Seas 4 to 5 feet. This is the 3:45 a.m. Upper Texas Coast Tide information for Galveston Channel. Tide times for today: high tide at 7:44 a.m. Low tide at 11:56 p.m. On Wednesday, high tide at 8:34 a.m. Low tide at 12:52 p.m. High tide at 3:34 p.m. For Clear Lake entrance, tide times for today: low tide at 4:47 a.m. High tide at 5:42 p.m. On Wednesday, low tide at 5:46 a.m. High tide at 5:59 p.m. For Port O'Connor, tide times for today: high tide at 1:58 p.m. On Wednesday, low tide at 1:52 a.m. High tide at 3:11 p.m. The water temperature at Galveston Bay entrance was 85 degrees. What flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected? Where? A portion of southeast Texas, including the following counties: Harris, Montgomery, and Waller. When? Until 5:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Impacts: flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations is imminent or occurring. Streams continue to rise due to excess runoff from earlier rainfall. Expect many areas of slow-moving or standing water. Additional details: at 2:14 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Doppler radar and automated rain gauges indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Flooding is already occurring in the warned area. Between 2.5 and 6.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 0.1 to 0.5 inches are possible in the warned area over the next 3 hours. Some locations that will experience flooding include Conroe, Tomball, Pinehurst, The Woodlands, Spring, Hockley, Oak Ridge North, Waller, Panorama Village, Shenandoah, Magnolia, Stagecoach, Woodloch, Hooks Airport, The Woodlands Pavilion, and Chateau Woods. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Potential for life-threatening flash flooding. Flood watch remains in effect through Thursday morning. What flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues to be possible? Where? Portions of south central and southeast Texas, including the following areas: in south central Texas, coastal Jackson and inland Jackson. In southeast Texas, Austin, Bolivar Peninsula, Brazoria Islands, Chambers, coastal Brazoria, coastal Galveston, coastal Harris, coastal Matagorda, Colorado, Fort Bend, Galveston Island, Grimes, inland Brazoria, inland Galveston, inland Harris, inland Matagorda, Matagorda Islands, Montgomery, northern Liberty, Polk, San Jacinto, southern Liberty, Trinity, Walker, Waller, Washington, and Wharton. When? Through Thursday morning. Impacts: excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. Extensive street flooding and flooding of creeks and rivers are possible. Additional details: there is an increased risk to lives and property due to flash flooding. Flash flooding is likely and considerable flash flooding is possible. Northern portions of the watch area have received 4 to 6 inches or greater of rainfall already. An additional 4 to 7 inches of rain is expected to rewide, with totals of 10 inches plus through midweek. Those living in areas prone to flooding should be prepared to take action should flooding develop. Do not drive your vehicle or walk into areas where water covers the roadway, as the water depth may be too great to allow you to cross safely. Stay weather aware and be alert for possible flood warnings, particularly wireless emergency alert flash flood warnings for considerable and/or catastrophic flooding. Repeating, a flood watch remains in effect until 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time Thursday for the following counties: in Texas, Bolivar Peninsula, Brazoria, Chambers, Fort Bend, Galveston, Harris, Liberty, Montgomery, and Waller. Coastal flood warning remains in effect from 7 p.m. this evening to 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time Wednesday. What? Coastal flooding expected. Where? Bolivar Peninsula. When? From 7 p.m. this evening to 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time Wednesday. Impacts: numerous roads may be closed. Low-lying property including homes, businesses, and some critical infrastructure could be inundated. Some shoreline erosion will occur. Additional details: the best chance of coastal flooding will occur late overnight tonight into Wednesday morning and afternoon. Take the necessary actions to protect flood-prone property. If travel is required, do not drive around barricades or through water of unknown depth. Here is the tropical weather outlook for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of America. Active systems. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on potential tropical cyclone 1, located over South Texas. The formation chance through 48 hours is high at 70%. The formation chance through 7 days is high at 70%. Potential tropical cyclone 1 expected to bring heavy rainfall to portions of southeast Texas. New information. Changes to watches and warnings. A tropical storm watch has been issued for Bolivar Peninsula, Brazoria Islands, Chambers, Coastal Brazoria, Coastal Galveston, Galveston Island, and Matagorda Islands. Current watches and warnings. A tropical storm watch is in effect for Bolivar Peninsula, Brazoria Islands, Chambers, Coastal Brazoria, Coastal Galveston, Galveston Island, and Matagorda Island. Storm information: about 250 miles southwest of Galveston, Texas, 27.0 and 98.0 W. Storm intensity 30 miles per hour. Movement northeast or 45 degrees at 6 miles per hour. Situation overview. Potential tropical cyclone 1 will move into the western Gulf and meander along the coast before crossing into southwest Louisiana Wednesday evening. Potential impacts to southeast Texas include the prospect of locally heavy rainfall along the immediate coast, 1-3 feet of coastal flooding across the coast and along the bays, and gusts to tropical storm force along the coast. Impacts are expected to begin later in the day on Tuesday and persist into Wednesday. A tropical storm watch is currently in effect for all coastal areas of southeast Texas and the Gulf waters out 60 nautical miles, with the exception of Matagorda Bay. Next update. The next local statement will be issued by the National Weather Service in Houston, Galveston, Texas around 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, or sooner if conditions warrant. Tropical storm watch in effect. What? South winds 15 to 20 knots this afternoon, increasing to 25 to 35 knots tonight, with gusts to 45 knots possible. Winds will shift to southwest on Wednesday. Seas will build to 4 to 6 feet tonight and to 7 to 10 feet Wednesday. Where? Portions of Gulf of America. When? Through Wednesday night. Impacts. Tropical storm force winds and hazardous seas could capsize or damage vessels and reduce visibility. Mariners should consider altering plans to avoid possible hazardous conditions. Remain in port, seek safe harbor, alter course, and or secure the vessel for severe wind and seas. A tropical storm watch is in effect for the following counties: in Texas, Bolivar Peninsula, Chambers, Galveston Island, Inland Galveston, and Matagorda Islands. 2 p.m. observations. At Houston Bush Intercontinental, rain and fog were reported. Temperature 77, dew point 76, relative humidity 96%. Wind southwest at 3 miles an hour. Pressure 29.86 inches and falling. At Angleton, cloudy. Temperature 82, dew point 74, relative humidity 76%. Wind south at 6 miles an hour. Pressure 29.85 inches and falling. At Galveston, cloudy. Temperature 82, dew point 76, relative humidity 81%. Wind southwest at 9 miles an hour. Pressure 29.86 inches and steady. Other regional observations. At Tomball, rain was falling, with a temperature of 76. It was mostly sunny, with a temperature of 85 at Huntsville, and 88 at Dallas-Fort Worth. It was partly sunny, with a temperature of 80 at Conroe, 84 at College Station, and 85 at San Antonio. At Hobby Airport, it was cloudy, with a temperature of 80. Coastal stations, temperatures were between 78 and 80 degrees. Rain was falling at Lake Charles and Beaumont. It was cloudy at Corpus Christi and Victoria. At Palacios, rain and fog were reported. The buoy reports, 20 miles east of Galveston, winds were south at 6 knots. The report from 60 miles south of Freeport was not available. The forecast for Houston and the surrounding areas. Flood watch remains in effect through Thursday morning. This afternoon, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall. Near steady temperature around 80. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall in the evening. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall after midnight. Humid with lows in the mid-70s. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Wednesday, partly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall. Humid with highs in the upper 80s. East winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening, then mostly cloudy after midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall in the evening. Humid with lows in the upper 70s. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Thursday, mostly sunny. Humid with highs in the mid-90s. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Heat index values up to 115. Thursday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the lower 80s. Heat index values up to 110 early in the evening. Juneteenth, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-90s. Heat index values up to 110. Friday night, partly cloudy in the evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 70s. Heat index values up to 110 early in the evening. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then partly sunny in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 90s. Chance of rain 30%. Heat index values up to 105. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 90s. Heat index values up to 105. Sunday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows around 80. Monday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-90s. Heat index values up to 110. The coastal waters forecast for the following: Galveston Bay. Tropical storm watch in effect. This afternoon, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Bay waters smooth. A chance of thunderstorms. Showers. Tonight, southeast winds around 15 knots, increasing to around 30 knots after midnight. Bay waters slightly choppy, increasing to very rough after midnight. A chance of thunderstorms. A chance of showers in the evening, then showers after midnight. Wednesday, east winds around 30 knots, becoming northeast 20 to 25 knots in the afternoon. Winds could gust over 40 knots in heavy thunderstorms. Bay waters very rough, diminishing to rough in the afternoon. Showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms. Wednesday night, southwest winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 35 knots, becoming south around 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots after midnight. Bay waters rough, diminishing to choppy after midnight. A chance of showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, south winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Bay waters choppy. A chance of thunderstorms. A chance of showers. Thursday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Bay waters choppy. Friday, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Bay waters slightly choppy. Friday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Bay waters slightly choppy. Saturday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Bay waters slightly choppy. Saturday night, southeast winds around 15 knots, becoming south 15 to 20 knots after midnight. Bay waters slightly choppy, increasing to choppy after midnight. The coastal waters forecast for the following: coastal waters from High Island to Freeport, Texas out 20 nautical miles.